connect to number 2 and then have the greatest capital H, D, capital G, exclamation. And Jason just found the password for the secure one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Before we start our regularly scheduled council meeting, we do have a public hearing on Ordinance 1160. Ordinance 1160 was read into the record and voted on by council at the last council meeting for first reading. And we will have a public hearing on Ordinance 1160 this evening, and it'll be back on the agenda for the next council meeting in September to be voted on for a second reading. Ordinance 1160 is concerning amending Chapter 198 with the water and sewer. It's an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of Maryland Constitution. The local government article of the annotated code of Maryland, sections 33 and 34 of the Havre City Charter, to amend City Code Chapter 198, water and sewer. Is there anybody here this evening in the audience that came here to speak on Ordinance 1160? Yes, ma'am. Well, if you wish, you can come up to the podium and speak if you wish. Yes, not a problem. Welcome to the public hearing. May we just please have your name and address for the record?
Maddie Charlton. Do I say my address? I live right behind McDonald's. At any rate, this ordinance is a long time coming. I personally was here, I appeared here before, due to water problems and financial problems and whatnot. And to be perfectly honest, got no response except from a handful of people who expressed concern but did nothing about it. Thankfully, I found out that who belonged to the water department and fought the fight myself. So I have read the ordinance itself, and it's a wonderful beginning, but there's some things in it. I'm not going to take up your time right now. There's somebody, oh, by the way, I also even used my age, and I am going to point out that how I'm winding up standing here and surviving is I actually had a very interesting company come after me, interested in hiring me. I'm an independent contractor in my field, and at 79. So today was the first opening day, and somebody with whom I'm working, who's from New York, who's very savvy and has a sixth sense and a soul, I want him to go over this because there's some things in it that bother me. And the one thing is a reference to regardless, this is how it comes to me, regardless of your income or whatever, water is a human right. Human living things need water to drink. Nobody owns water. So aside from this being a wonderful start, it needs to be tweaked, and I would hope that it would be put out for more public awareness. Oh, and the other thing I just will say is I've heard too many stories about, you'll all get offended, but it's the truth. There's too many slumlords operating freely, and they cause people to suffer if their water is not included, and people complain because they have a leak. And I know one young woman who's a hardworking gal. She works and had a $500 bill and got a rude response about a payment plan and whatnot. But that, what do you call him? Landlord, he did nothing. He just humored her. He said, I'll get in touch to the water department. And her water was shut off. So you know what she had to do? She had to borrow money from friends. Well, you know what? Americans aren't like the friends that people perceive that they ever used to be. Not to mention that is a psychological assault on somebody's pride to have to do that and over water, you know? Same thing with electricity. So rather than belabor it, I'll just add, BGE used to be ridiculous as corporations have been, but to their credit, over time, they humanized their whole program, realizing people, you just cannot negate them. And there are entities that help. I was helped on a fixed income with electricity. That was the first time in my life I had to turn there. So I see personally how it bothers people. So maybe what I've said so far might tweak some souls that have deactivated with those who are present and hear my spiel. And I hope so, because there's no one that's immune to some type of catastrophic problem. And we all should be helping each other. And on that note, tonight, unfortunately, it may be too cloudy. There is a very special blue moon. From the time I was a kid, through my life to the universe. And it had a portal, if you like metaphysics at all, that opened last night. But it is supposed to do all sorts of wonderful healing and things, not only in the universe, but with people's souls, and hopefully so. But it's supposed to be beautiful, so treat yourself and go watch that. And you undoubtedly will hear from me later. But thank you. Is there a question? No? Okay. Anyway, thank you to any of you who participated in this. And so you have, an excellent person in charge of, Chris Ricci, in charge of the wooded. I did not see you sitting there. That's how nervous I am. He's a gem. You've got some gems working here. So anyway, I'm done. Thanks.
Anybody else here this evening to speak on ordinance 1160? Any comments from the council members? Okay, without any further comments from the public or from the council, I now close public hearing on ordinance 1160, and we will begin our regularly scheduled council meeting. Okay, good evening. It's August 19, 2024. The time is now 7:09 p.m. I call to order a meeting of the Havre Mayor and City Council. I will now call the roll. Council President Ringsocker.
Here.
Councilmember Robertson.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Boyer.
Here.
Councilmember Shenagus.
Here.
Councilmember Boger.
Here.
All council members are present and accounted for. Could everybody please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and opening prayer? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If I could kindly ask everyone to remain standing, as it gives me great pleasure to invite up Reverend Mary Whitehead of Spearhead Global Outreach. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's always good to have you here.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the grace that is upon the city of Havre de Grace. We thank you, Lord, for all the blessings that you have placed upon this city. As the new school year approaches, we pray for your love and your peace and your protection for the children, for their families, for the teachers, the staff, the volunteers, the bus drivers. We ask that you continue to bless Havre de Grace and those who live, work, and attend activities here. Please keep it safe and bring prosperity. Amen.
Amen.
Tonight, we pray for our mayor and council for this wonderful city. Lord, may your presence and your direction lead this council meeting. Bless the mayor and the council as they make good decisions. Amen. Father God, I speak a blessing upon this meeting and upon our leaders. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show his favor and give you his peace. I pray all this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Reverend Mary, thank you so much. It's always great to see you. Please be seated. Okay, we're going to go to item number 5, which is the approval of the minutes. Will be the approval of the council meeting minutes of August 5th, 2024. Council, to have a motion to approve.
Second?
Motion by Councilman Robertson, seconded by Councilmember Schnegus. Questions or comments on the minutes? Council President?
Mr. Mayor, I will be abstaining as I was absent that evening.
Okie dokie. Councilmember Jones?
Yes, Mayor, I'll be abstaining as well.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Approval of the August 5th council meeting minutes are approved, 4-0 in the affirmative. We're going to go to item number 6, comments from citizens. This is the part of the council meeting. If you are here to speak on an item on the agenda, or if you're here to speak of any other matter of city business, now's the time to do so. Normally what I do is if a citizen filled out a form online or filled out a form at the doorway over there, I'll call on those citizens first. But don't worry, if you didn't, all you gotta do is just raise your hand and be recognized. You come speak. I do have 2 pre-filled out forms. I'd like to call forward Miss Carrie Parsons. Good evening, Ms. Parsons, and welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Carrie Parsons at Seco Street here in Havre, Grace.
Welcome.
Thank you. I just wish to actually address more of the administrative side, DPW, and Dr. Ritchie and Adam. It is a blessing, actually, to see the progress going in our downtown, knowing that we're finally in that phase of upgrading the water and sewer lines. It has been a long time coming since we went for the bonds, and now that we are in that final phase, I am ecstatic. I cannot wait to see the last pipe go in and know that we have gotten rid of the terracotta, all of the other pipes that have been busted over the years. We have new drains and functioning fire hydrants in the key areas where we need them. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody that has worked so hard in getting us to this spot. It really means a lot to me. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ms. Parsons. Appreciate it. And I'd like to call forward Mr. Kirk Smith. Good evening and welcome, Mr. Smith.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor, City Council. My name is Kirk Smith, living on Seago Street. I am a voting member of this council, or I vote for this council. Anyways, something to that effect. I'd like to welcome the new chief, the new major. It's very nice not being the only chief in the room. Thank you. Let's see, what do I want to say? Nicely. There's a metric buku ton of negativity coming about the city's revitalization plan out on social media. It's so much that I haven't bothered to try to keep up with it. I've tried to address any tree issues that concerned citizens on social media have had, including explaining the tree root boxes, which are exponentially better for the incoming trees, the caliper of the trees that we're getting, which we will be getting, which will be a large chunk bigger than what the normal civilian or backyard gardener plants in their yard. But it's to no avail. Everybody just wants to spout bad things about this elected council and, of course, the mayor. Well, boo-hoo. They had their chance to comment in the very opening of when this all started. Ms. Parsons and I let loose a string of pages of emails, I think it was to Ms. Diane Clare, commenting on things that we would like to see. Then when we got the first package, we made comments to you all. We reached out to planning and DPW and the administration going, we think this would be better. And yes, not all of our recommendations were taken because not everything can be paid for in this one lump sum. However, I can see it just as clearly as I can see the picture of the new Amtrak bridge that's going to be coming. I can envision walking down, getting an empanada, crossing the street, picking up some Carhartts, stopping in the tactical store for my own personal reasons in the Second Amendment, then meandering down to maybe get dinner at a very nice looking downtown. A beautiful vision. I can actually see this as I'm looking at you. So carry on. Know that you've got community support from people who are not afraid to stand up and speak for you. And I know I've ran against every one of you, so you guys can speak up for yourselves, but it doesn't hurt having us in your corner. But carry on, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Appreciate it. Okay, those are the only two forms pre-filled out I had for public comment. Again, if you're here to speak on an agenda item or any other matter of city business, please raise your hand. Yes, sir. Welcome to the council meeting. May you please have your name and address.
Herbert Truslow, Strawberry Lane. The first thing I want to know, I've been walking downtown, and this is the first time I've seen, what was the reason that you guys are cutting all the trees down on Washington Street? That's the first time I have noticed that when I walk at nighttime when I go in there and that. And the other thing, I'm just trying to figure it out, because most of you guys know I work at McDonald's. What's the bylaws of like public, emergency vehicles stopping there and getting something to eat? In my opinion, they should drive, if they want to get something to eat, they should drive their own personal vehicle and don't drive the city property if it doesn't have anything to do with that. What is the law against that?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question, most of you guys know I work at McDonald's, and I can mention what public servant vehicle I've seen. They had no, we call it, reason to drive it, to getting a breakfast sandwich there. They could, whenever a fire broke out, or they're at McDonald's or Burger King eating, and they can use that emergency vehicle to catch to a fire and stuff like that. What is the law against that? Can they do that? In my opinion, that's a waste of taxpayers' money. That could be for a fire or something like that.
I'm not sure I understand it. So someone's using an emergency vehicle
Yes,
at McDonald's?
I'm not going to say what emergency company it was, but they could have used that to stop an emergency or something like that.
I'm not familiar with emergency vehicles being used for McDonald's. Ms. Ishak?
So from the city standpoint, if it's fire, those are privately held by the 501c3 fire company, Susquehanna Hose Company. If it's an EMS vehicle, an ambulance, those are either Harford County or they're privately owned.
I know this was a Susquehanna Hose Company. The guy had his...
It's not a city vehicle, sir, but there is no law
The guy had his street clothes on. He didn't have no fire uniform on, so...
That's a policy at Susquehanna Hose Company. It's a private 501c3 nonprofit entity.
So if a fire was to break out, and that's one less vehicle the city has to use?
The city doesn't use those vehicles, sir. Those are not owned by the city, so you can take it up with the Susquehanna Hose Company leadership and maybe write a letter.
I know who I can speak to Chief Hurst, because me and him go way back. He used to work with my mom down at McDonald's about a long time ago. I'll speak to it because that's, in my opinion, that should be against the, in my opinion, Havre should take over the city, the fire companies, and let them manage it instead of them using a vehicle that shouldn't be even used. Like I said, my apartment building could be on fire, and that's one less vehicle they have.
For the record, sir, we have one of the fastest volunteer fire companies in
I
the
know that,
nation. We have an SRO1 rating, so I think if you have concerns, since you already indicated you know Chief
Yeah,
first,
I
maybe you
know
should speak with him.
When my dad passed away, in last year, no one said, no, the first, I don't have nothing to say against the Havre ambulance, but the first ambulance crew was on the scene, I don't want to say was Aberdeen, was the first company on the scene because they were right at the hospital, and the fire company that also came was the one right across from the library was the first one to come. I don't know, the one, I got a fire company behind my house, they could have came, but most of the time when I'm at McDonald's, when they call for a fire, the only truck I normally see is the one on Chapel Hill. Then we got to send our companies up there to help them out. So I nothing against our company, but the fire companies need to change their policy about their fire people. If they're not in uniform, they shouldn't be able to drive that vehicle. That's one less vehicle they have that could help rescue somebody. So next time I see Scotty Hertz, I'll talk to him, and that needs to stop and everything. Like I said, it's one less vehicle that the city has for a fire. It could save any of you guys' houses. That could save your guys' houses and stuff like that. If I was the chief of the fire company, that would have happened. That guy would have been dismissed right on the spot and everything. Thank you for your time, and I got to go home. I have to get ready to go to work. See you guys later on.
Anybody else here to comment on any matters of city business or anything on the agenda? Any comments from the council? Okay, we will move on to item number 7. Item number 7, appointments. We have no appointments this evening. Takes us to item number 8, oath of office. And we actually have 3 oaths of office that need to take place tonight because we have 3 brand new Havre de Grace police officers being sworn in. So, all right, that's all right. Well, Council President, please join me, and Council Member Boyer, Public Safety. Okay, Chief, you want to join us down here, please? If I can invite the 3 officers up forward, and we'll all take our oaths together. Welcome, gentlemen. If I could just have you kind of stand like maybe 1, 2, 3, probably within about 2 feet of this microphone. Perfect. The way you are right there is perfect. Thank you very much. We'll get this done in a second. Okay. All right. I invited Councilmember Boyer, who is the chair of the Public Safety Committee, and of course the Council President, to join us, and Chief Crass, of course. Chief, I actually, before we take the oath, if you could just say a couple words about these 3 new officers and when they joined and you know when they got out of the academy and things like that.
So we were very fortunate. We had 3 great candidates, and so they all joined the department and were with us for a few months in a cadet status. So we got to meet all of them, and they were very impressive from the very beginning. Great work ethic, and we worked them hard. So the range never looked so clean. They got to go on a lot of ride-alongs, and so the important thing is that they got to know us, we got to know them. So then they went off in January to the Harford County Sheriff's Office Academy. So for almost the last 8 months, they've been there, and we've kept close eye on them, and they did fantastic there. And I know that I have a lot of friends at the sheriff's office, and they're thieves, and they tried to steal these guys from us. And but they're honorable men, and they They are here in the Havre Grace uniform, and they're here ready to be sworn in, and we are extremely proud of them. They did fantastic, and so they've already been, each of them have one shift under their belt, so they've been out on field training, starting, 2 of them were on Sunday and 1 today, and so they've already gotten into a little bit of stuff, and so we want to get them sworn in and continue making progress towards their field training. So they got about a little more than 2 months of field training, and you know, so we're gonna, I guess it's 3 months, sorry, 3 months of, yeah, so, yep, so, anyway.
Well, thank you, Chief, just for the quick background. And Officer Cushing, Officer Herrera, and Officer Spake, welcome to the City Council meeting. It's good to see you guys here. Again, I'm grateful, I know the council members are grateful that you chose to serve the city of Havre de Grace. You'll know, if you don't know already, that we're different than most places. This is a very, very great community of good people. It's a very safe city. I mean, we have the occasional stolen bicycle from time to time, but in general, we have good people here, and we have great officers. And it's been a tradition handed down by Chief Walter, now with Chief Crass, and all the other supporting officers of this department. And so we welcome you to our ranks, and we hope it's a great career for you. And we hope you enjoy serving the citizens of Havre de Grace as much as we enjoy our police officers out and among us every day. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an oath of office. And what I'd like each of you to do is please raise your right hand. I'm going to say the word I. After I say the word I, please state your name in order, starting with Officer Spake. I,
Austin Spake, Eric Herrera, Zachary Cushing,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will fulfill the requirement
that I will fulfill the requirement
of the office I'm about to assume,
of the office that I'm about to assume,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland,
and support the laws
and support the laws
and Constitution thereof,
and Constitution thereof,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially,
and impartially,
without fear of favor or prejudice,
without fear of favor or prejudice,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a police officer for the city of Havre de Grace
as a police officer for the city of Havre de Grace
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. And if you wouldn't mind, get a couple pictures, and then perhaps if you have any family members here with you, get us here first?
We also have a gift for them.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So each.
Cool.
All right. So we have a little special gift for each of you. So it's a plaque with your oath that you just took, and to commemorate today's date of your official swearing in. So anyway, that way it'll be something nice you can display.
Thank you very much, Chief. And so, who's here taking pictures? All right, copy. Okay, great. All right, so what we'll do is let's grab one group picture of us right here, the 7 of us right here, and then we'll do a group picture of all the officers and your comrades over there, and then if you have family members that want to come up for individual pictures, that's great too. So we'll give you the floor up here for the next 3 or 4 minutes. So. And any officers here this evening want to jump in this picture? We'd love to have you. One picture with me in it, then we're going to cleanse it with politicians. And it's going to go. Okay, politicians out. Officers on. Perfect. Okay, so who has family here that they'd like to have a picture with? Officer Spake's family, come on up. Well done, everybody. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and we're going to continue the council meeting here. We're going to item number 9 this evening. Item number 9 is recognitions. We have no recognitions this evening. Item 10, proclamations. We have no proclamations. Item 11, presentations. This evening there are no presentations, which takes us to resolutions, and we do have one counter resolution this evening. Council President Ringsager.
Mr. Mayor, Council, citizens, I move to introduce calendar resolution concerning designating a resident agent.
Second?
Council, I have a motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Schnagus. It's a counter resolution concerning designating a resident agent. Questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce a resolution carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Hold on one second. Okay, this is going to be Calendar Resolution 2024-17. Resolution by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, pursuant to the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland and sections 33 and 34 of the city charter to designate a resident agent. Council to have a motion to adopt Resolution 2024-17.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Boger. Questions or comments? Council President?
This is a requirement with the state to bring us into compliance with SDAT and establishes the resident agent for the city. Bookkeeping.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Without any further comments, we will do a roll call on Counter Resolution 2024-17. Councilmember Boger?
Yes.
Council President?
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson? Yes. Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Schnagus?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, Calendar Resolution 2024-17 is adopted by council. Thank you, council. We're going to go to item 13, ordinances. We got ordinance 1159. Second reading, Councilmember Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, I move to introduce on second reading ordinance number 1159.
Second?
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Robertson, and it's seconded by Councilmember Schnagus. This is a motion to introduce ordinance 1159 on second reading. Are there any questions or comments on the introduction of 1159 on second reading? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce ordinance 1159 carries 6-0 in the affirmative. This is an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, to approve real property tax credits against the city real property tax imposed on the eligible assessments for real property in the enterprise zone known as Old Bay Industrial LLC, located at 350 Old Bay Lane, Havre de Grace, Maryland 21078, owned by Old Bay Industrial LLC. Council, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1159 on second reading?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Robertson, second by the Council President. Okay, all right. Questions or comments? Okay, Council, we're going to do a roll call. Councilmember Shenegis?
Yes.
Councilmember Boger?
Yes.
Council President?
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, City Council Ordinance 1159 is adopted on second reading. Thank you. Item 14, old business. This evening we have no old business. Item 15, new business. We have a special event, and I'll hand that off for introduction by Dr. Chris Ritchie.
Mayor, Council, for your consideration this evening is Autumn Fest, to be held October 6th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Maritime Museum and the Lighthouse Keepers Lawn.
Council, I have a motion to adopt Autumn Fest.
So moved.
I have a motion by the Council President. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Councilmember Jones. Questions or comments on Autumn Fest? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Autumn Fest for October 6, 2024 is approved by Council 6-0 in the affirmative. We're going to go to item 16, reports from my directors, and we're going to go right back to Dr. Chris Ritchie.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens. My comments this evening are going to be brief, but I would like to offer a special thanks to our DPW team for their work today. In the middle of the rain, doing a repair to a very large water main break on Burn Drive. They did it very timely in some pretty nasty conditions, so thank you very much to that crew that worked on that. Would like to offer thanks to Bob Denton and our event staff. So this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the second annual Shaka Khan Horror Convention, and Bob has envisioned and built a horror-themed escape room. And I had the opportunity, along with some of my colleagues, to test out the escape room last week. It was a whole heck of a lot of fun. He did a fantastic job on it. So really good work, Bob. Congratulations on that. My understanding is even if you can't make it to the convention this Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, they're going to be running the escape room through October. So you will have an opportunity to experience that if you would like to. So Mr. Speed, the world's largest KISS tribute band, is playing at the Star Center on Saturday night. This past Thursday, I had the opportunity, along with many people that are in this room, to attend the city's Employee of the Quarter celebration, and I would like to congratulate the winners, Doug Droyer, Stephanie Miller, Julie Lay, and Jeff Thompson, on winning, and just thank you all for your outstanding work performance and dedication to the city. And that concludes my comments for the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritchie. Appreciate the comments. Any questions for Dr. Ritchie? Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Borsay, Director of Planning. How are you, sir?
Great. How are you guys? Just briefly, we had a Planning Commission meeting on August 15th to discuss the final revisions in the comprehensive plan. Just a reminder to all of you, if you haven't been to the website, to look at the comprehensive plan. It'll be in front of you very shortly in fully revised form. So if you have any chance to look that over, please do it, because you might have questions. I talked a lot in the past about e-permitting software. We are launching it on August 28th. Next week, a representative from the software company will be here for on-site training. So we'll be moving to all electronic permitting starting next week, just to give you an update on that. And last thing, not always proud of demolitions, but we had an eyesore that had been sitting vacant over at 909 Elizabeth Street. We were finally able to get torn down. It was in really bad condition and was really an eyesore for the neighborhood. So if you make it over to that part of town and go take a look, the street is in a lot better condition now than it was. So thanks to our staff and John with JD and his crew for getting that done in a timely manner. That's it for me.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Boisier? Councilmember Boyer?
Hi, I just wanted to ask a question. Has there been any update in regards to Greenway Farms? And
Yep.
the issues that the community has had with not only the roundabout, but the bridge and the intersection at Route 40?
Yeah, there's been an inspection on the bridge. My understanding is that report's going to come out in October. I know April Eshok has been in touch with some members of the community out there. There was some discussion from them about making it a legal matter, so it's hard for me to speak about some things, so I can say we are progressing towards those issues, but as far as exactly what's going on, it's more of a legal matter now that I can't comment too much on as we're moving forward.
April, can you just give us an update then, or what we can say at this point?
So there have been citizens that have been emailing me as directed instead of bothering our staff, who then need to deal with the issues at hand. So I've been intercepting and communicating directly with the concerned citizens. So I last spoke with EJ on Friday. I emailed the citizens, there was no update. The last I mentioned was that the bridge had been inspected. The initial report was favorable. There was nothing to be concerned about from a structural standpoint, and that a report would be expected around October. So as for a date, I do not have a specific date. And unfortunately, a lot of what these citizens are seeking for is a date and a time certain, and neither I nor the staff have that information at this time. The other issue that was concerned was the traffic circle and the disrepair. There have been citations issued with regard to this road out in Greenway Farms. My understanding is that EJ has been, our director of DPW has been in communication with the developer, and that they are working for a more permanent fix as opposed to just patches, because the patching work has been falling apart. So, and then I believe late Friday I learned there may have been some change in personnel at the developers, and so that may delay discussions a little bit. I just don't know, because I didn't get to talk to EJ today since he was tapped up with other issues. So that, and then there's a couple of issues arisen around SHA and traffic studies. That is still under legal review, as the community is aware. This development dates back to 2004. We are on our third, I think, developer out there. We've already been engaged in 8 years of litigation involving a prior developer. And so we take any concerns in this neighborhood very seriously, and we want to make sure that when we do a legal review, it's going to be thorough. If the citizens want it faster than that, we work at the pace that we have available to us. We've confirmed that there are no emergencies to be concerned about in that neighborhood. And if they think differently, they're free to get their own reports. They can bring other reports. But as for their request, the city is working on it, and it's going through the motions of getting the work done properly. We're not going to rush an answer and then realize, oh, we shouldn't have made that answer because it was a knee-jerk reaction. So we are investigating it, and we do take the concerns seriously.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ishak. Councilmember Boyer. We're going to go update from Ms. Bridget Johnson, Director of Economic Development and Tourism. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens at home. I just want to say thank you to the council for just passing ordinance number 159. That was the tax credit for Old Bay Industrial LLC. This is good news for the city of Havre Grace, as well as good news for Plastipac, which is the owner and tenant of in the building. And also, we will be tracking their job numbers on their application. They are supposed to create between 15 and 20 new jobs. So that is something that we track as part of their tax credit. This Thursday, August 22nd, we are in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, having a ribbon cutting at Cameron Michael Couture store. That is on 327 St. John Street at 5 p.m. The new owner of this store is Patricia Burchett, and we would like to welcome her to the city of Havre Grace. Next Wednesday, August 28th at 4:30 p.m., we will hold a ribbon cutting for Nani's Cookie Jar. That is located at 811 Revolution Street. All ribbon cuttings are open to the public. And we would like to say welcome to the City of Havre Grace to Emily Godson. She is the owner of Nani's Cookie Jar. On Saturday, August 24th, Aqua Vita Aesthetics and Wellness will open their doors. They are located at 402 Lewis Street. We are setting a ribbon cutting for late September. Details to follow soon. We would like to say welcome to the City of Havre Grace to Crystal Carino. The next Economic Development Advisory Board meeting is this Wednesday, August 21st at 4:00 p.m. here in Council Chambers, and the public is welcome to attend. That concludes my report for this evening, Mr. Mayor. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Any questions for Economic Development Tourism?
Okay.
No. Good evening. Thank you so much. And good evening, our Director of Finance, Mr. Abdi. Good evening, sir.
Deputy Director of Finance, but yeah.
I'm sorry?
I think you said Finance Director? Deputy? I may be mistaken. I do apologize. Maybe I've heard the Finance Director.
That's fine. Deputy Director. Okay.
A little bit deja vu from last time.
Okay.
Good afternoon, council members, citizens of Havre Grace. Good evening. In terms of the financial condition for FY24, financial fund, the general fund, since my last report, the fund balance has decreased by $690,700. This is a reflection of expenditures being up $668,600, with revenues being down $22,100. In terms of the water and sewer fund, since my last report, it is down $386,800, with an ending fund balance of $1,685,300. This is a reflection of expenditures being up $413,000 and revenues being up $26,200. Lastly, in terms of the Marina Fund, Fund 8, the fund balance has decreased by $32,200 since my last reporting. The fund balance currently balance is $776,500. Again, this is a reflection of expenditures being up $33,500 with revenues being down $300. Since my last report, I indicated our external auditors would be arriving next week, 26th, to do their field work. So they'll be here for 4 days. So if you do see them, say hi. They'll be around for the 4 days. I do appreciate it. Thank you. If you guys have any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for the Deputy Director of Finance? No. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the update. And we're going to go to Chief Crass.
Good morning, Mayor, or good afternoon, Mayor, evening.
Good morning.
Council members, yeah, it feels like it. Citizens at home. I just wanted to explain something. So we'd put it out recently on our social media that we were very fortunate to get some air tags specifically for an auto theft problem. So there's a nationwide concern for Hyundai and Kia. Certain models are prone to auto theft. So the Vehicle Theft Prevention Council, through the Maryland State Police, reached out to us and said, would you be interested in these air tags? And so we said, yes, we would. And so these are available to our citizens that have a registered Hyundai Kia vehicle that would be prone to theft. And so the program would work as that citizen, once they proved ownership, registration or title of a vehicle that would match the parameters, and they also have to have an Apple phone at this time. So they're trying to get, and I don't know, I'm not a tech guy, there's a very similar technology that's out there for Android, but I'm not sure the name of it. They're trying to get those with additional grant money. So this cost us nothing. So what happens is the owner of that vehicle would register their AirTag through their Apple phone, and then what would occur then is we would not be responsible or able to track their vehicle in any way. That AirTag is given to them. If something were to happen with their vehicle and they needed to recover it, so it was stolen or whatever the case may be, then they could use their equipment, their phone, to track the vehicle and give us that information. We could go and make the recovery. So I just wanted to clarify that what the parameters of that program were, because there was a lot of people would be like, "Where's my free air tag?" And so it's very specific, and so we were very fortunate to get it. And on a similar topic, we did have a little bit of a trend in the last few weeks of some motor vehicle tamperings going on, probably some juvenile activity, and I cannot stress it enough that people need to lock their cars. So the kids will go around, they're gonna try your door handles, and they get into your car, and they will steal your change and anything else that's not nailed down inside your car, and so lock your cars. And anyway, so thank you, Mayor. That's it for us.
Appreciate it, Chief. Any questions for Chief Crass? Councilmember Jones.
Chief, what were the make and models that you said could get the air tags that you have?
It would be Hyundai vehicles and Kias, and it's usually like 2010 through like 2019, something like that is like the years that they were more prone to have issues. The newer models with like the key fobs and things, they're not prone to the thefts. So
Okay, just double checking.
Any other questions for the chief? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We're going to go to item 17, comments from the mayor's office. Just a couple quick things. Yeah, Mother Nature has turned around on us for the month of August. We've had a lot of rain, which much needed rain. We've been in a little bit of a drought for a good part of this year. So, but it's hit us a couple times when we least wanted it. I mean, we had to cancel our first Fridays in the beginning of the month, and the other weekend, previous Friday, tropical storm, what was left of Tropical Storm Debbie, brought south winds, which brought some high tides into the city of Havre de Grace. So, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. I just want everyone to remember that there's not a whole lot the city can do with drainage when the drain is at sea level. So when the tide comes up, the water will flood, but I want everyone to stop and think for a second. What got flooded? Parking lots, grass at Concord Point, the parking lot at Hutchins, so that's why we call it a floodplain. So, and the water receded, it went away, and it looks like it never even happened, except for DPW did a great job cleaning up a lot of mulch and seaweed and debris, but, City of Havre de Grace is no stranger to flooding. So I just want to let everybody know that we're on top of it, and every once in a while that happens. A lot of things going on in the city of Havre de Grace. I've been talking about in the last couple of meetings. A lot of water and sewer infrastructure up 155 down Juniata Street. These are very important for the city of Havre de Grace. I understand that the road's pretty bumpy coming down the hill. I know that the road's bumpy on Juniata, but these main water lines that we're replacing really is extremely important to the future of our city, with the ability to send water from the pump station or the water plant down on St. John Street up to our big main tower up by the community center. So just bear with us as we continue these important upgrades. A lot of stuff going on downtown as well. We are now doing a lot of pit testing, checking for utilities. We've relined a sewer line in our historic downtown district on Washington Street. And of course the trees came down earlier in the week. And I just want to remind everybody that this was not a surprise. This was as advertised. But I also want people to realize the trees that were removed from Washington Street were Bradford pears. I repeat, they were Bradford pear trees. Those things should be illegal. I live off of Gadwall Court. When my mother and father built their house that I live in now, there were 16 Bradford pears on that court. There were only 3 remaining. Those trees don't have a long life cycle. They're about 20 to 25 years. Also, Bradford pears are an invasive species. There's nothing special about the wood. It's not a good wood to begin with. And what they're prone to doing, if you ever notice a Bradford pear, and I know there's a lot of people in Havre de Grace that have Bradford pears near their neighborhood, A lot of times you have the trunk and you have the branches that branch out, and if leaves or debris get into the crevices of the branches, the wood absorbs the water and it never dries. It's not like an oak or a maple that can withstand the moisture. The moisture rots the branch, and that's why Bradford pears are so prone to branches falling off. And we've had a lot of branches fall off those trees downtown. And so I want everyone to know, because it's a little bit shocking when you see Washington Street all open up without any trees, that those trees would have come down anyway, regardless if there was a restoration plan or not. Those trees were planted probably around 2001, and they were getting close to their life cycle. But the most important thing that we all need us to remember is that this project is on track. Everything is going well. And that we are in talks with arborists about the best species of trees that we can plant that will be hardy, that can withstand multiple seasons, and hopefully be around in our city for at least half a century to 75 years. And so, but also tell people, even though everything's on track, remember we're working at the speed of construction. Sometimes there's delays, sometimes there's supply delays, sometimes there's weather delays, but the city's doing everything we can to do that, to advance it. We will be updating some more artist renderings of the next steps for downtown, so please keep checking back with the City of Havre de Grace website and Facebook page, the City of Havre de Grace Facebook page. And as soon as these renderings are finished, we'll try to put them up for what the next step's going to look like with some of the finished product. But thank you, everybody, for your patience, as the City of Havre de Grace is doing a lot of much-needed work with our water and sewer infrastructure and the downtown restoration project. With that said, I want to thank everybody, council tonight, for all their work on the resolution and the ordinance. And our next meeting is going to be on a Tuesday, I think the 3rd of September. So the first Monday in September is a federal holiday, so if you're looking to either attend this meeting or to tune into it on YouTube, it's going to be on Tuesday, September 3rd. So with that said, I will hand it off to council comments, and Councilmember Jones, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, council, directors, citizens in the audience, and citizens at home. I first wanted to apologize for my absence last week. I was sick, and so I just wanted to let the community know why I wasn't here. I also wanted just to let everybody know, as you can see, I cut my hair. I've been getting some weird stares, and some people don't recognize me at all. So I figured tonight was a good night to let people know that after 17 years, I decided to cut my locks and go with this new fresh cut. So when you see me, it is me in the street. I also wanted to share, I got a message of congratulations from the chief, so I wanted to share that I was appointed to, by the Attorney General, Anthony Brown, to serve as a commissioner on the Maryland Commission on Hate and Crime. So I just wanted to shout out, thank you very much, I appreciate that acknowledgement. And it was competitive. I am one of 2 Harford County residents on the commission, but I'm the only one who works in Havre de Grace, only one who works in Harford County, and of course, I represent Havre de Grace. So I hope to do some great things on that commission and to bring some things back to our city. The last thing I wanted to mention, if you haven't heard, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library is expanding. I got an email from Josie Cosgrove, who's the founder. She reached out to me to ask that we spread the word. She started the library in Havre de Grace in February of 2024. The library provides free books mailed monthly to children ages 0 to 5. For 1 year, 12 books cost $26 per child. If you're interested, you can find out more information at www.imaginationlibrary.com or email Ms. Cosgrove at imaginationlibrary.harfordmaryland@gmail.com. And that's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Jones. Good evening, Councilmember Boyer.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no comments. I hope everybody had a wonderful couple of weeks and enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyer. Good evening, Councilmember Shenanigans.
Good evening, Mayor, Administration, Council, citizens in the audience and at home. As summer is winding down and we're heading back to school, I want to say thank you to the Youth Commission for providing back-to-school supplies for the kids and a great day this last Saturday at the Star Center. And I want to welcome the teachers that have to go back. I wish you the best as August 26th, teachers in Harford County and Cecil County go back to school to prepare their classrooms. Parents and students, enjoy your time together, and we look forward to seeing you September 3rd back in school. And we just hope that, you are ready, and make sure that you enjoy that last 3-day weekend before we launch back into the new school year. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Snegus, and good evening, Councilmember Robertson.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, city staff, ladies and gentlemen still here and at home. Just real quick, I want to give a big shout out to the administration, specifically Director Ritchie and Bob Denton over there at the Star Center. So the weather forecast this week, had been showing some chance of rain, and then Friday, suddenly it was like 80% chance and thunderstorms likely and all this stuff for Saturday and Sunday. So last minute decision was made, or a request was made to the administration on behalf of the Youth Commission to move the Refuel for School event from outdoors down at Concord Point Park to the Star Center. The Star Center just happened to be open. The big gym happened to be open that day, so they were able to accommodate that request. Went pretty seamlessly. The folks were there to help us get in and get organized, and lots of kids showed up. So out of the 500 bags full of school supplies, we gave a little more than 400 out. So the community was able to realize the change of location at the last minute and all, and that was a big positive. Definitely just want to thank all the volunteers, all the city staff that makes that event possible, my fellow council members who were able to come out and be a part of that. So thank you for that. And with that said, this week we will not have a youth commission meeting. We're giving everybody a break. And we also will not have our budget and finance committee meeting because it's still summer. So yeah, we'll convene on that next month. Hopefully the audit's done. And with that, that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councilmember Robertson. And good evening, Councilmember Boger.
Mayor Martin, council directors, those who still with us, our citizens still with us. I missed the employee of the quarter luncheon, which I always try to attend that. I had a educational class I had to attend with the U.S. Army. But I want to extend my congratulations to all the awardees. But I want to give a special shout out to Jeff Thompson. This guy is incredible. He basically mastered a ceremony for every event without fail. He shows up early, sets things up, when that was Chief Walter's retirement, to Derby races, to the Independence Day Commission, the 4th of July, you name it, Jeff Thompson, he's always there without fail. So I want to give him a public shout out. I did also attend with a few other council the 6th of August OPAC, the Neighbors Night Out with the OPAC. That was great. Was able to mingle with our favorite, with our own law enforcement out there, members of the CAT Club and different members who actually showed up. So it's always good to do that positive action committee out there. What do you call it? OPAC, Ontario.
Positive action.
There we go, right? So it's always a good time. And then I'll go ahead and wrap things up with, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for the Susquehanna Host Company, even though they utilized their vehicles apparently illegally. I'm just kidding. They don't do that at all. But I want to go to that, a heartfelt thank you to the host company, to our police department, our ambulance corps, our EMS, and all of our first responders. That's all I have, Mayor Martin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Booker. And comments from the council president.
Mr. Mayor, council, citizens, because of this late hour, I will keep my comments short. I think this might be the earliest I've ever seen us get out. Councilmember Jones, congratulations, and I love your hair. I'm just the opposite. I'm letting mine grow out because my barber had a heart attack, and I like my barber, so I'm never went back, and I've saved, I don't know, a couple $100 in haircuts since May. So I'm just gonna let it grow out till I get a ponytail, and I'm trying to beat Len Parrish for longer hair. Just real quick, football has started, practices and everything, and soccer and all those other sports. I want to give a shout out to the police department for their posts on Facebook this weekend, because this is something very important to me. Do not park on the yellow curbs outside the police department. First off, you're not too smart if you park on a yellow curb, which is illegal, outside the police department. But it's in a school zone, and like people all the time. And so I like to do the announcing for the rec league football. And I can't tell you, like, we'll have 16, 17 times I've had to call the police during the day's events, because people literally park right there in front of the school, right in front of the football field, and it blocks the view from the kids leaving the stadium out into the crosswalks. And it's horribly dangerous, it's inconsiderate, and it's idiotic. Just don't park on the yellow. 90% of the time, like I said, it is people from out of town. There's a parking lot right across the street. So if for some reason you're from Edgewood or Joppa or wherever else watching Havre Grace for some reason at 8 o'clock on a Monday night, you can park over here, okay? With that, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Council President. Appreciate the good word. We're going to go to item number 19, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Councilmember Jones had a motion, and I'll just go Councilmember Schnegas. All right. Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Jones, second by Councilmember Schnegas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The time is 8:13. This council meeting is now adjourned. We thank everybody, and remember, the next council meeting will be Tuesday, September 3rd. Have a good next couple weeks, and have a good Labor Day weekend, everybody. Thank you. September 3rd.